Hello, everybody. It's me again. Sorry about the previous video. When I shared my screen, there's a box I'm supposed to click, and I didn't click it and had a little bit of an issue. So give me a minute and we'll get started. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Today, what I want to do is go over the Texas Constitution with everybody. And you'll find a lot of similarities in various state constitutions that were built around our U.S. Constitution. But today in these times and stuff, I think it's really important that everyone know their rights and everybody knows the laws that are on the books. The Constitution and your state constitution is the current law of the land, regardless of what local municipalities or people, mainstream media, or anybody will say is what should be. The law is the law. It has not been changed. So I'm going to go through today in this one part of a series doing this. The first 10 sections of the Texas Constitution. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen here real quick. Okay, hopefully everybody can see this, and hear me. Let me make sure I have the right box. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, it looks like you can. So, as you can see at the top, this is the Texas Constitution. All constitutions usually have what's called a preamble. So here it says, Texas Constitution Preamble. Humbly invoking the blessings of Almighty God, the people of the state of Texas do ordain and establish this Constitution. So it's kind of like the objective. Article 1, Bill of Rights. That the general, great, and essential principles of liberty and free government may be recognized and established, we declare. Section 1, freedom and sovereignty of state. Texas is a free and independent state, subject only to the Constitution of the United States and to the maintenance of our free institutions and the perpetuity of the Union, depend upon the preservation of the right of local self-government, unimpaired to all the states. So what that's telling us is that Texas is a sovereign state in itself, meaning we have our own laws, we self-govern locally, and we get our rights locally and also from the state. Now, that does work and come from our U.S. Constitution as a federal government, but our state government is sovereign. We are a republic of states that make up the federal government, okay? So basically what this says is we will be unimpaired to all the states. So in the state of Texas, we have our laws that we have established, our Constitution, and our rights, and no other state can infringe upon that. That also means that not all the states together, being the federal government, can impair or change our laws here in the state of Texas. Okay? So, Section 2, inherent political power, Republican form of government. That is not the political Republican Party that is just, we are a republic. Okay. All political power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefit. That's really important. That right there shows we the people, if you are a free government, we the people have the authority and all political power when it comes to managing our state affairs. Okay? So if we elect somebody to represent us, they are representing us, we the people, not themselves, not lobbyists, not special organizations, etc. The faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to the preservation of a Republican form of government, and subject to this limitation only, they have at all times the inalienable right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may think expedient. What this is telling us is that if, let's say, the governor is trying to do something that we know is not constitutional, that is infringing upon our rights, or doing something that is not legal, we have the right as the people to assemble and to make changes. Now, the way we would do this is through our state legislature, who will make the laws, or we can alter our state constitution. But basically, what this says is that we, the people, are part of a sovereign republic state, and we have the power to govern our state. Okay. Section 3, equal rights. All free men, when they form a social compact, have equal rights, and no man or set of men is entitled to exclusive, separate public emoluments or privileges, but in consideration of public services. So we're all equal. It doesn't matter if you, have 10 people in your group or just you. It doesn't matter. Each of us have equal rights, okay? And we are each entitled to our own rights, okay? Or privileges, however you may see it. And public services that are provided by our government, we each have the right to as well, okay? Section 3A, equality under the law. Equality under the law shall not be denied or abridged because of sex, race, color, creed, or national origin. This amendment is self-operative, okay? So what this is saying here is, again, we're all equal under the law, and our rights should not be given or taken away based on your gender, your race, whether you're purple, blue, green, your beliefs, where you were born, as long as you are a citizen of the state of Texas, which would also make you an American citizen, you have equal rights under the law, okay? Section 4, religious tests. No religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust in this state, nor shall anyone be excluded from holding office on account of his religious sentiments, provided he acknowledge the existence of a supreme being. Okay, so again, there is not supposed to be any religious test, meaning no one can ask you what you believe in. what your religion is. You know, from a legal standpoint, no one can infringe upon your religious rights, okay? And this has happened a lot, I think, during the past year in 2020. I think we all got to see various people being arrested. And in my opinion only, across the states, they way overstepped their authority with arresting people for local mandates. That actually, if you go back and look at your Constitution, whether it be federal or your state Constitution, those local authorities did not have the right to do what they did, okay? So it's really important right now that we all understand these rights, because we're seeing over and over again that these rights are being infringed on. And we have to stand up. We self-govern, okay? We have to stand up and basically we have the power. We have to voice our rights. We have to claim our rights. We have to, well, you don't have to claim your rights. You're automatically, you have them. But we need to stand up and let everyone know that these are our rights, and it is the law of the land, okay? Of course, I never condone violence at all, never. So I'm just talking about speaking, calling your legislatures, etc., okay? So number 5, section 5, sorry. Witnesses not disqualified by religious beliefs, oaths, and affirmations. No person shall be disqualified to give evidence in any of the courts of this state on account of his religious opinions or for the want of any religious belief. But all oaths or affirmations shall be administered in the most binding upon conscience and shall be taken subject to the pains and penalties of perjury. So that last part basically means there are consequences. If you take an oath and you say, so help me God, that's what it's talking about, that you are taking that oath, and it is a legal and binding oath, okay? Now, this is also saying that in any court in the state of Texas, you cannot be disqualified about giving any sort of evidence, testimony, stuff like that, your opinion, because of your religion, regardless of what your religion is. So, you know, this can go back to as well some of the previous stuff about local governments trying to impose unlawful laws, I would call it, that they think they're laws, but they're not. It's actually just guidance. They don't have the right, based on guidance, to subvert our rights, okay? Section 6, freedom of worship. All men have a natural and indefeasible right to worship Almighty God according to the dictates of their own consciences. No man shall be compelled to attend, erect, or support any place of worship, or to maintain any ministry against his consent. No human authority ought, in any case whatsoever, to control or interfere with the rights of conscience in matters of religion, and no preference shall ever be given by law to any religious society or mode of worship. But it shall be the duty of the legislature to pass such laws as may be necessary to protect equally, of, let me read that again. It shall be the duty of the legislature to pass such laws as may be necessary to protect equally every religious denomination in the peaceable enjoyment of its own mode of public worship. Okay? So what that's saying basically is that they can't infringe upon your religious rights. They can or can't stop you from being able to peacefully assemble and worship publicly. They can't. That it right here, Section 6 of the Texas Constitution states that they cannot. Nor can they make you attend, build, or support any place of worship that you don't agree with, or maintain any sort of ministry or minister to people about anything that you don't agree with. Okay, let me check something here. Okay, sorry, just wanted to make sure you guys can still hear me. So this is really important. I mean, I know that I've read a couple things up in the state of Michigan, I think it was, that, pastors being arrested for worshiping, it's out of control. These local municipalities do not have the authority, and even the governor themselves of a state does not have the authority to tell you that you cannot worship, and that all religions have to be treated equally. So in my opinion, I'm starting to see the persecution of more and more Christians over some other faiths, and that's disturbing, and it's illegal. So anyway, okay, let's see. Section 7, appropriations for sectarian purposes. No money shall be appropriated or drawn from the treasury for the benefit of any sect or religious society, theological or religious seminary, nor shall property belonging to the state be appropriated for any such purpose. What this is talking about, and I think what this means, mind you, I'm not a lawyer, okay? All of this is just my opinion, just using common sense. But I think what this is talking about is we cannot take tax dollars, basically, from our Texas Treasury and appropriate it or use it for any religious group or function or whatnot. That if we are to do something like that or want to do stuff like that, those are things that need to go through our state legislature to change these laws or enhance these laws, or however you may look at it. But Section 7 right now of the Texas Constitution says tax dollars cannot be used for these items. Okay? Section 8, freedom of speech and press and libel. Every person shall be at liberty to speak, write, or publish his opinions on any subject, being responsible for the abuse of that privilege, and no law shall ever be passed curtailing the liberty of speech or of the press. In prosecutions for the publication of papers, investigating the conduct of officers or men in public capacity, or when the matter published is proper for public information, the truth thereof may be given in evidence, and in all indictments for libels, the jury shall have the right to determine the law and the facts under the direction of the court, as in other cases. Okay, so obviously this is reviewing our First Amendment rights, okay, from our U.S. Constitution. The state of Texas believes in not censoring our First Amendment rights, and obviously any of you can see how this has been completely trampled on. I have to be careful, of course, my channel is new, but this is the law of the land right now. What's going on shouldn't be. It's not legal. And I think we're going to start seeing cases more and more that are going to be, one, based on, number one, Section 8 of our state of Texas Constitution or on our U.S. Constitution. But my point being here is we all need to exercise these rights and laws. You know, if it happens to you, you have the right to file a lawsuit. You know, we all remember Nicholas Sandmann, you know, and what happened with him. So, you know, we've got to fight back. We really do, because just because the mainstream media or social media or your neighbor says that, you know, you don't have the right to your opinion, it doesn't make it law. This is the law, okay? So just remember that. Section 9, searches and seizures. The people shall be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and possessions from all unreasonable seizures or searches, and no warrant to search any place or to seize any person or thing shall issue without describing them as near as may be, nor without probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation. Okay, so I think what this is saying, it's basically you cannot be searched, your house can't be searched, your papers, your possessions, it cannot be searched or seized without a warrant. And that warrant has to have probable cause. It has to have a list of exactly what they want to search, where they want to search, what they want to search, etc. Okay, and whoever signs that warrant, you know, or that warrant paperwork, has to give an affirmation or an oath that everything in that is true and correct to the best of their knowledge. Okay, I could get into a lot of this, but and I probably will down the line, but right now I think that's just important that you know. And just remember, okay? Section 10. This is a little bit of a longer one, but I'm going to cover this one, and then I'm going to end this part for today. I'm going to go through, our Constitution is 286 pages long. It's going to take a while to get through the whole thing, and that's why I'm going to break this up into pieces and over time. And then post, of course, other items of interest during the week as well. So anyway, Section 10, rights of accused in criminal prosecution. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall have a speedy public trial by an impartial jury. He shall have the right to demand the nature and cause of the accusation against him and to have a copy thereof. So if you get charged with something, you have the right to a speedy trial. Okay, if you're being criminally prosecuted, they have to tell you what they're prosecuting you for, what's the nature and cause of the accusation against you. And you're allowed to have a copy, an exact copy, in fact, of exactly what that charge is and what they're stating. He shall not be compelled to give evidence against himself and shall have the right of being heard by himself or counsel or both, shall be confronted by the witness against him, and shall have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, except that when the witness resides out of the state and the offense charged is a violation of any of the antitrust laws of this state, the defendant and the state shall have the right to produce and have the evidence admitted by deposition, under such rules and laws as the legislature may hereafter provide. Okay, so real quick, basically what that means is that, you know, you don't have to give evidence against yourself. You don't have to say anything that may be or may not be, you know, used against you. That but you do have the right to, and you can speak for yourself, or your attorney can speak for you, or both of you. You do have the right to cross-examine a witness and question what is being charged. Okay. So, and if there's anything in the state of Texas that falls is a violation of any of the antitrust laws of Texas, you can do depositions for any people that are, you know, residing out of state. So you don't have to bring everybody here to the court. They will take a deposition versus having to come and be here in person. Okay, now let's see where I left off. No person shall be held to answer for a criminal offense unless on an indictment of grand jury, except in the cases in which the punishment is by fine or imprisonment, otherwise than in the penitentiary, in cases of impeachment, and in cases arising in the Army or Navy or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Okay, there's a lot there. I'm not going to get into everything with that. I think that we can apply a lot of that to some of what's going on right now. And, you know, it can get into the weeds on a lot of this. So I just want you to know that this is the law. Section 10 covers criminal prosecutions. Okay, so in the state of Texas, this part of the law and the Constitution has to be followed if you are charged criminally. Okay, so Section 11 is on bail. I will start there for my next part in the series. I appreciate you watching this. I appreciate you all bearing with me as I learn and grow in this. But hopefully we can learn and grow together. And it's kind of my purpose. And again, this video is strictly my opinion. I'm not giving any legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. And I am just an American that knows that we have rights. And it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. You still have rights either way. And we have got to stand up and be heard because a lot of local municipalities and etc. are stomping on our rights and trying to tell us that our rights don't matter, and they do. And we need to talk to our state legislatures, you know, and let them know that we're not happy with things and, you know, what we want. It's really important. It takes 2 seconds to look up your reps in your area. You can Google it. And then send them an email, call them, talk to them. They are elected officials. They work for us, okay? We elect them and they work for us. So I think that needs to be remembered. And if they don't, you know, work for us and we're not happy with what they're doing and how they're representing us, we need to impeach them. We need to get them out of office. We need to vote them out. So we all need to stand up and start being heard more before this gets any further, because our country's headed in a bad direction. And I'm not trying to be a downer at all. I have my faith. God always wins. But we need to do it. We need to stand up. We need to use our voices. Okay? No violence ever. I do not believe in violence. I believe in following our laws. Okay? And last time I looked, the state constitutions are still law of the states. For the republic, states are still sovereign. And the United States is a republic of states. and the states are still sovereign. So anyway, God bless everybody. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I'm really happy that, I'm really happy that you've joined me here. And, you know, leave any comments below. I really like to see what you guys think. God bless Texas. God bless America. And God bless you and your families. Remember, united, not divided, faith, not fear, love, not violence, and never forget, God always wins. Thank you, and I'll catch y'all later.